Okay, and we're live.
And we're back, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. And
How
welcome
goes
back
it?
to the Spaced Out Podcast, episode 7.
Woo,
8 weeks
woo,
in a
woo,
row now.
woo.
Two whole
We
months
haven't
of
missed a single
us.
one.
We haven't yet. Yeah, we've
We've been
been
killing it.
going strong. We
And
have
now
been
we have
killing
a
it.
little bit more art. I
We have
put
more art around us.
yeah.
Ooh,
So cool.
pretty
Thank you.
cool.
Thank you, Ms. for those.
Yeah,
Um,
we got that all set up. I think it looks pretty cool.
so cute. Love it.
Uh, yeah. So Gab, how's your week been? What's new? What are the
Um,
details?
Good week. I went to music festival. I know I had mentioned that before,
Woo,
but
woo,
music
woo.
festival over the weekend. It was okay. It was
It was
not my
okay.
favorite music festival.
No.
It was Beyond Wonderland in California, and it was overpacked. Way too many
Oh, really?
people. Um, and we just got there kind of late, and I had like costume and hair malfunctions. And so at one point, I was like,
Aw.
I'm kind of upset. The
Oh,
place was pretty.
no.
Like it was really set up nice. They had a lot of like not actors, but like people cosplaying basically, dressed up, and a lot of photo op places that you could go to that
Okay.
looked nice. But yeah, it just wasn't my favorite. Still,
So, like,
still good
what,
time.
what, what made it not your favorite? Was it just like everything building up, like the wardrobe not working, and then it being late, and then it being crowded? So it was just kind of like,
Yeah, we didn't. We went much later. Like the doors opened at 4. And
okay,
Angel like had work. He went to the festival the day before and then had work the morning of, and so got like 3 hours. So we were trying to like let him sleep a little bit before we go. So we went
okay.
later in the night, which like was fine. But my favorite part of those places is like taking pictures. Like I want to get my picture
Oh, and it's
taken. I'm
dark and
I'm
stuff.
dressed
Yeah.
up. I did my makeup. I did my hair, and so we didn't do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that because the time we didn't have a lot of time. And then like I tried a new hairstyle. It's bubble braids. I'd never done it before, and I thought it
Oh,
was so
interesting.
cool. But it requires a lot of little elastic bands, and they kept
Hmm.
breaking. I had never done it before, and so
No.
like an hour in, it was like pop pop. I would just feel them. I was
Oh
like,
my
oh
gosh,
my
no.
god, and it looked so bad after a while.
Oh, that
But
stings.
like the music and stuff was fine. For me, in those places, I definitely have to be under the influence of something to
Ooh,
like
okay.
really, really get into it.
I
But I
can
had a
feel that. Yeah.
DD, so I didn't go too
Oh,
crazy
okay.
either. So like by the time the stuff wore off, it was like 1:30, and I was like, I'm just exhausted.
I want to go to bed. Yeah.
Yeah. So Angel, was with some friends. I was like, you go ahead. I'm gonna stay here for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't terrible. It was, like I don't regret going, but just not my
Was it
favorite.
like really far from your house too, or was it kind of closer?
It was an hour,
Okay. I
not
guess
too
everything there is an hour though.
everything. Yeah, you've been here.
Yeah.
Everything is that far, so not
Yeah.
terrible, but
So did you have more planned you were going to, or was it just that one? I can't remember.
more of like
Like music
festivals coming
festivals.
up.
Yeah.
Right now, no. Angel's looking at some.
Oh,
I think
okay.
there's like one in September, like the week before TwitchCon. He was like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "I can't be asked right
Ooh.
now," because
Oh,
the
okay.
last one I was like, not really." But give me some time, and I'll be like, "Actually, yeah, now I want to go." So maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Other than
Makes
that,
sense.
no certain ones. But
Okay.
yeah, how was
Cool.
your weekend?
It was good. This past weekend, it rained a bunch. We didn't do too much, but we did do an escape room one night. We went
Ooh.
out with like, yeah, we went out with like a big group of friends. I think there was 11 of us
Hmm.
total. And the escape room was like military barracks themed with like
Ooh.
soldiers and like
Patriotic.
weapons and walkie-talkies, but all the soldiers had gone missing and you had to figure out like why, and like you were like trapped in their bunker essentially. It was cool. We finished with
Oh.
like 7 minutes left. So,
How much time were you given initially?
1 hour.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
That's
So the
cool.
guy told us at the end, he was like, "This is one of the hardest ones in the state, and only 15% of people finish." So I don't know if he was trying to like gas us up to try to like book another one or something.
Oh,
Um,
like, oh,
but
you
it was
guys did
pretty
so
cool.
good. Should do another one. How
It was
many
cool though. There were
people?
like 11, so it was like
Oh,
Shania and
wow.
I, and one, three other couples. So that would make six. We would make eight, and then three other friends of ours were there. I think it was 11. I might be miscounting. No, 11. Yeah, because my one friend's niece or cousin or something came.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a big group. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, neat. Oh, that's cool. I
Yeah,
haven't done an
I like
escape
doing
room in
escape
forever.
rooms.
Maybe TwitchCon. That could
I
be
would be
fun.
down. I would be down.
A
I
drunk
think that was
one.
like my. Oh, I don't know if we would
Imagine.
finish.
That'd be so funny.
I feel like I didn't really get to contribute much to like solving the puzzle towards like until like the end,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it was just because figuring stuff out and like kind of getting on like a path of clues, so like I didn't really get
Yeah.
much of what was going on until like the midway point.
I imagine with
Um,
11 people, it's kind of hard. Are you bumping into everyone a lot?
yeah. Not it was pretty spacious,
Yeah.
but that one was like meant for like more than 10 people, I think.
Oh, really?
That's
Okay.
why we booked it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
It was a little pricey, but it was still pretty fun. Like that was probably the coolest one I've been to, I think.
Yeah? Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been to, I think, like one or two. And normally they're like pretty cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's good.
Um, yeah, other than that, we started another puzzle that we're gradually working on,
Ooh.
and I don't think we did any. Well, I can't remember what else we did. I don't think so, but we played Overwatch yesterday.
We
That was
did.
fun.
We played our first ranked game of the
We
season.
played our first ranked team this
And
season
we
and won.
dominated. It was so
Yep,
easy. It was
easy
actually really
peasy.
stressful, but
But
no, it's good.
yeah, it was that was good, and that was like usually we suck at Overwatch, but we went like 12-5 or something. So
Yeah, yeah. In the casual games, we normally always lose, but
hmm
we were killing it.
yeah, it was a
It
good
was
win
good.
loss.
Good fun
So
time.
solid week, and now we're back.
We're
And
back.
this week we're gonna be talking about jobs.
Yes,
Woo!
jobs.
So exciting.
Fun.
Jobs and stories
Mhm. Mhm.
and all kinds of cool stuff.
Just all the
So
different things. Yeah.
yeah. I couldn't like think of what to chat about, and then I was like, we could chat about like programming-esque things, but I don't think we could really talk about that for super long without me just
Yeah.
like being super nerdy and talking about shit. Um,
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like,
hmm
coding, like it'd be a good topic, but I don't
Yeah.
have a lot to contribute. And then
Okay.
also, I don't think it'd be very long. But
hmm
yeah.
So as for jobs, how many jobs total have you had now? Do you even keep
Um,
track? Have you had that many?
one, two, three, four, five. I don't know if I would count that one, but maybe six, seven ish.
7? Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah.
I've had 4.
Okay. Mhm. Not
So
bad.
not bad. Um, so yeah, my first 2 jobs were in food. I
Mhm.
feel like you probably know this, but just so everybody just to tell is I worked at pizza shops. I worked in different pizza stores, like local ones, not like Domino's or Pizza Hut, but like local ones.
Mhm.
Um, and the first one I worked in was like super cliche, like traditional, like Northeast pizza shop, I
Yeah.
guess. Um, and I worked the counter. Um, I answered the phone and I waited and bussed
You
tables
did it all,
and oh, wait
except
till I
make
get
the
to the second
pizzas,
one.
right? Oh.
Yeah. But what was your first job?
My first one, I was, I think 16. No, wait, 17.
Okay.
Um, and I was a janitor for a
Yeah.
middle school, which was so much fun. I got it because my cousins worked there, and they were like,
Okay.
I was like, I needed a job. I just got a car, and my dad was like, I'll help, pay for most things, but you have to pay for gas. So, understandable. But what really wanted me, why I wanted that job was like first I knew someone in there, so it'd be easy to get. But also they were
Mm-hmm.
paying $10 an hour.
$10 an hour.
Yeah, minimum wage in
Okay.
Florida was like 7.25 or something, so it was
Okay.
really good for a high schooler. I was like, yeah, and it was
That is
perfect.
pretty
Like,
good.
even though I was in high school, like I was doing the early college program thing,
Yeah.
so I did really early classes, and then my afternoons were free, and so I would spend like 3 to 7 Monday through Friday at that job. So it aligned
Easy.
perfectly.
Yeah. I feel like that's such a weird job for like a younger person to get. I feel like you don't see
Oh yeah.
many like 17-year-old janitors. It's all like, you know,
Yeah. No, it was
older people.
really weird. At one point, like the whole staff was teenagers. And
Oh,
actually the whole
interesting.
staff was my family and we were all
Oh,
teenagers. And yeah, it was an interesting time. I can get more into it, but there
yeah, definitely.
it was for it was for an elementary to middle, pre-K to
Okay.
8th
K
grade.
to 8. Okay.
But right next door was the high school that my cousins went to. So they would go to that high school and then
And
just
then
like
walk
walk
over
over.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the weirdest thing you've seen in the middle school bathroom?
Oh, in the middle school bathrooms. Okay, for sure. I had probably have a photo. I should have maybe dug for it, but I have
Oh
seen
no.
in the boys. I cleaned the actual middle school part, so the 8th graders. And it would be like a tally mark system, like vote for your favorite game. It would be Roblox or Fortnite,
Oh,
and it was on the
really?
toilet, on the toilet
Ew.
dispenser thing. It like who's bringing pins and
Oh,
stuff in there? Or they would
that's
clog
weird.
the urinals.
Hmm.
Nothing too crazy. It was a private school, so
Okay.
I, I don't know if that
I
says
never did
anything.
anything like that, but I do remember one time being in third grade
Hmm.
and getting like the wet paper towels and throwing it at the wall and seeing if
Yeah,
they would stick. Yeah. I think that's
yeah.
the worst thing I've done. But there were kids like in my middle school who got like suspended because they got caught like by faculty, like just peeing on the walls.
What?
Yeah,
That's
that's the kind of
so
middle school I went to.
gross.
Yeah, that's the kind of middle school
Ew.
I went to.
Disgusting. Yeah,
Yeah,
thankfully it wasn't terrible.
it wasn't super gross. There wasn't like anything super nasty.
No, nothing. No, nothing disgusting. I know, like, definitely had to deal with some clogged toilets, but
Mm, I gotcha.
yeah.
I at both my pizza jobs had to like clean bathrooms and clean and sweep and uh sanitize and wash dishes and that sort of thing. But it was usually pretty mild because it was like the only people that really used it were us
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Okay.
And we all knew if it wasn't kept nice, we'd have to clean it. So it was usually okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless like a customer came and like wrecked it, but that never really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you said you were paid $10 an hour.
Yeah.
So were you paid like you got like a paycheck and it was like direct deposit, or how did that work for you?
Yeah, I had direct deposit set up, and I
Okay.
had like a debit
M-
card, and that was so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So my first job, I was paid illegally. I was
Oh
paid under the
yeah.
table in cash.
Oh
And
shit.
I've said how much I made before, but do you remember how much I said I've made before at that first job?
It was. I know. Was it something really low, like five
I
dollars?
I made $6 an hour at that
So
job.
crazy.
And tips, but tips were
Okay.
usually like maybe it averaged like $2 an hour or something. And if like maybe one night I have a table and they would tip like $10, like that would be huge, right?
Yeah.
So I would work Monday to Thursday from 5 to 8 at this pizza shop, like busy time, like taking the phones and like checking out customers and
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing. So on a good week, I would make $90 for 12 hours of work.
Yes.
Woo.
Dang. How
I
did
made the
that
70, yeah.
come to you? Like, how did
Oh,
they?
so I actually manifested this first job.
Okay.
So my friend Dom, who I've been friends with since I was like in eighth grade,
Mm-hmm.
he had just gotten his first car and his like driver's license. He's a year older than us,
Okay.
so he was a year ahead of us in school. And one day I was in my parents' car and we were going somewhere and we drove past the place and I saw a sign in pencil on the door that said drivers wanted. So I texted him. I was like, "Yo, this pizza shop is hiring. Get a job there as a driver, then get me a job there." That's exactly what happened.
Really?
Yes, he got hired as a
Dang.
driver, and then when an opening filled, he said, "Oh, my friend could work," and then I got hired.
Damn. So
Hmm.
did you go into it knowing that it would be under the table, or did you interview and then
I did not.
they're like, hey, we'll give you this, but like, hush hush about it.
Yeah, I didn't really interview.
Okay.
So the owner was actually out, which was a good thing, and I'll get into him later. But I walked in around like 7
Mhm.
and I just came up to the counter and like the co-owner, like the manager came up and he was like, "Oh, are you picking up?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm like Dom's friend. He said you were looking for somebody to work the counter. I'm available. I don't know if I need like a resume or an interview." He was like, "Nope, come back tomorrow at 5." And I was like, "Okay,
That was it?
cool." That was it. And I was in. So I
You
guess
didn't
he
go
put in a
over
good
any
word or not.
details? Like
Nope.
you did you tell your parents they were okay with that?
Yeah, yeah. I had told them that because before I walked in and asked, Dom had told me he was like, um, "Yeah, they're looking. Come in and ask," basically. And
Mhm.
I told them, and my parents had already been like, "You should get a job this year instead of playing sports." So I had like been looking. I had like gone to like department stores and that kind of thing, and like applied with like a resume and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But nothing ever came of that.
Right.
And this just worked out. Yeah. So I kind of was like, I'm gonna get a job there, but I have my friend get a job there first, and then
Yeah.
it's exactly what happened. It was crazy.
Nice. Easy
hmm
peasy. And how long did you stay with that job?
I started there in March of 2016, and I left in April of 2017. So like a year and a month or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Good gig.
So kinda. So this job was like it was a pizza shop.
Yeah.
So um I worked with like a bunch of Spanish guys and a bunch of like kids that were drivers, but the owner was like an off the boat, greasy, overweight Italian guy.
Uh-huh.
He was like 50, 55, like creepy, racist,
Ugh.
homophobic, sexist,
Oh,
all
okay.
all the words.
Wow.
Like that was
All the
him.
words.
But luckily, he only worked because he was the owner. He chose his own hours, and he only worked on the busy days. And all he did was cook the Italian dishes and some
Mhm.
of the pizzas. He would make like all like the fancy Italian food. So he only worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I only worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Mhm.
So we only overlapped on Thursdays. So I only saw him then, so I didn't have to deal with him as much. But it was super awkward because he didn't like me
Mhm.
because I wasn't a young girl working the counter,
Mm.
basically.
Okay.
Um, so
Weird.
I got paid in cash. So at the end of my day on Thursday, I was like, "Hey, I worked my normal 12 hours. These are like my two credit card receipts with $1. Can you like cash them out?" And he was like, "Did you really work 12 hours this week?" And was like trying not to pay me and all that kind of thing. So I'd have to go and get my manager and be like, "Can you tell our boss that I worked this week?" Because he would be there like when the owner wasn't there. And he was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, he worked 12 hours. It's 72. Like make it 75, make it easy." Um, and
Damn,
he would
you're
like
already
always get he
underpaying
would
the kid.
yeah he would always give me a hard time like all the time.
So
Um,
annoying.
if like it would be like rare like he wouldn't be there on the
Mhm.
Thursday, and then it would actually be smooth because my manager would just pay me.
Good.
Um,
Mhm.
so um, yeah, that's him. That's my old boss. Um, and he is the reason I quit.
Really.
Um, yes. So one day, and I had already thought about and talked to my manager about leaving
Mhm.
because he's one of three brothers, and his two other brothers own a different pizza shop, basically, and they need somebody to cover like one day. So I was gonna work at both places and get paid the same amount, just in two different places.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like they
Yeah.
had the same menu, it was just like a different location, kind of.
Yeah.
Um, so I had already like had plans to work there, but one day, guy comes in, he's like, "Hey, can I just have a slice of pizza?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It's like two bucks or whatever. So he comes to the cash register, I take the $2, and then I go put his slice of pizza in the oven. And my manager like or not my manager, the Italian guy, the
Mhm.
boss, like watches the whole thing and just like starts screaming at me, like livid for no reason in front of the customer about how I did everything wrong and I should have put the pizza slice in the oven first and then taken his money. And his justification was, "Oh, you don't want to touch money and then touch a slice of pizza.
Mhm.
It's dirty. The money could be dirty."
Right.
So two things about that is one, I used tongs, so I never touched like the
Mm.
money then the pizza. Like I never touched it with my hands.
Right.
And two, just like the last week, I had done the exact opposite. And he said, oh, money number one. Money is number one. You always take the money first. You put it in the register, then you touch the food. Exact opposite.
Make up your mind. Like, which one
Yes,
is it?
exactly.
Oh my
So
god.
the customer saw all of this and saw he like this grown man was screaming at like a kid
A
for doing
teenager.
nothing wrong
Rhyme.
and was like, fuck you, keep my money. I don't want your pizza. And left. And I was
Good.
like, okay, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
But that made him even more mad
Yeah.
that it was my fault that we
You
scared a
lost a
customer
customer.
off.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, okay, like I'm definitely quitting.
Mm-hmm.
But the customer called back on the phone. I picked it up and he was like, you need to quit today. And I was like,
Oh,
I'm going to. Yeah, like he called back and he was like,
that's so
nobody
sweet.
should like treat a child like that. Yeah, it was crazy. So
Yeah.
after my shift that day, I drove to the manager's brother's place and I was like, "Hi, I'm quitting the other place. I can start here tomorrow if you want. Like I'm just not going back. I was gonna just not take the money I was gonna get for the week.
Yeah.
It was $50. Like I didn't care."
Yeah.
And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm quitting. Like fuck him. I don't care."
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he was like, "Okay, we'll want to train you and stuff. Why don't you come back like the next beginning of next week?"
Mm-hmm.
And the beginning of that next week was my senior trip in Disney.
Mm.
So I wasn't going to be available. So after I got back from Disney, I started there. But I did go back in the next day and like got paid
Yeah.
and everything. Um, and he tried to get me to not to quit and was like, "Oh, don't quit," like blah blah blah. And
Was
I
this
was
the
like, "No, like
manager
fuck."
trying to get you not to quit or the boss
No,
man?
the boss. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
boss man, the Italian guy. And I was like, "No, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm out. Like, good luck finding somebody as good as me or whatever the fuck
As
I
good
said."
as
Like,
you. Yep.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yes.
That's kind of cool
It is
that
a
the
crazy
the
story.
customer like called back.
Yeah, they were a
Was
homie. I don't
concerned
remember
about
anything
you.
about them. I think they
Aw.
were bald, but yeah.
What a sweet bald
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I was like, wow. Like I guess that just happened.
Yeah.
And then I was almost like, oh, why'd that guy leave? Because he yelled at me even more. I was almost like mad at him for leaving. And then he called back and was like, no, that like isn't right. Whatever. Like you need to
Yeah.
quit. Don't work for somebody like that. Don't support a business that like is run by people like that, etc. So,
Yeah. By straight assholes.
hmm so
Ah.
anyways, enough about that job. There are a couple other stories. I had really cool coworkers there. Like a lot of the drivers were like a couple years older than me and were
Mhm.
like really cool. Um, there were like a bunch. They kind of rotated in and out and stuff, but I mean, it was easy enough. I didn't do anything with food there though. The most I would do would be like put the boxes of the food like in the bags and
Yeah.
like do that. I didn't touch any food there. But the next place I did though, so talk
Okay.
about that later. So what was your next job after janitor?
Um, in
Sanitation
between
expert.
sanitation expert. I had a very brief, like month long, couple weekend job while doing janitor. That was on the weekends. Because I had a friend who was working at the place. That's how you get every job, right? And they're like, we are very short staffed. Like, would you want a job? You'll get paid $10 an hour, and
Mm-hmm.
all you have to do is sit in a bunny suit and let kids sit on your lap for a couple hours. Yeah.
No. You were the Easter
I was the
Bunny?
Easter Bunny.
How did I
Yeah.
not know this?
Yeah, I was the Easter Bunny for 1 year, a month
That's
long,
crazy.
like just a couple weekends.
I've never met anybody that's like been in the costume.
Yeah.
What?
It was very easy. I like went there. They're like, "Okay, you're hired. Come back this weekend." And I just sat in the bunny suit for hours. It was
Really?
actually very hot. It was so
I
easy. I didn't
bet.
do anything. I like
You just sat there and like
just
waved.
sat there and I waved. It was just hot. That was the only
Hmm.
bad thing. But yeah, did that for a little while. Easy peasy in and out. I just wanted some extra cash.
Fair enough. Holy, that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like so like people don't normally just like okay, I'll do that. Like get in the hot costume and like
it was just
let
yeah. It was literally the
children.
opportunity arose, and I was like, yeah. They wanted me
Like
to
okay.
do like the salesperson, but I have bad. I don't like socializing.
Talking to people.
I was very anxious. Yeah, even then. So I was like, I'll do the
I
bunny,
guess
and it was
I
more
guess the
money.
Easter money. Oh, the bunny was more money, really?
Yeah,
Huh. I mean, I guess the bunny would be easier than like, doing Santa because Santa you have to like have like the beard and like talk to people and look,
yeah.
and the bunny you're just like,
You're in a suit and you're waving. They have no idea. I would have teenagers come through and like meme around and want to be like they'd be like, man, you must hate it here. Like, dude, it must suck
and
in
you're just
there.
like,
I'd be like, like thumbs up.
did you ever talk? I
No,
guess not.
no,
Yeah.
never talked. Yeah.
So did you look out of the head or was it like a big suit and like you looked out of the chest?
No,
Or
no,
did you
out
not
of the
look at
head.
all? Out of the head, okay.
Yeah, it was very hard to see. Like anytime I would have to get up and walk, cause like I'd have to change in the back of the mall, and
And
then
then
they
walk
would
to
walk me.
the
So I'd always have a guide to like help walk, cause you could not see.
yeah.
And then they would go. There's a Starbucks like a little kiosk right
Hmm.
next to us, and so if I wanted water, I'd just like let them know water, and they'd go get me a cup, and I'd have to like
Hide?
hide it and drink
Oh
through the
my
mouth somehow.
god.
Yeah,
That's oh my goodness.
fun time.
That does sound like a fun time.
Um,
I don't
yeah.
think I would ever want to do it, but it sounds like a fun
It
time.
was it was cool to just do, and like now I can say like I was Easter Bunny. I remember as soon as like I put on the
Yeah,
costume,
yeah.
I took a picture on Snapchat and posted it on the story, and
Ooh.
was like, "I'm your Easter Bunny," like kind of a thing.
Oh, cool.
Little
Cool kid
cringe.
alert.
I did have some stories about the janitor job though that were just crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to mention. So like I had one cousin that worked there, and then I got hired. My other cousin ended up getting hired, and then my little brother got hired. So at one point it was
Okay.
four teenagers. I have good work ethic, right? I like
Hmm.
if I'm doing a job, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. My cousins and little brother do not.
Oh
They
shit.
would constantly get complaints. They would never like clean the toilets right. Sometimes we'd have our own designated building. And so like
Okay.
sometimes they'd be sick and like I'd have to go over there and help. And I'd look at the state of their bathrooms. I was like, they're not wiping anything down. They're not sanitizing right. There's like rings of pee because you're not scrubbing the
Uh,
toilet. I'm like, ah,
yeah.
always bother me. But what killed me is like we would work over the summer and do deep cleaning. We would like scrub the
Okay.
walls, scrub the
Hmm.
desks, like clean, and just a lot of extra cleaning. Um, and at that point, we even had two more teenagers hired on that were like kids of the teachers at the school. Um, and so at one point, we're all in this one room. We're not supposed to be all in one room. We're supposed to be spread out and cleaning. We're all in one room. Two people fell asleep. Other people are just sitting on their phone scrolling. I'm
Oh my
like semi
goodness.
cleaning. I'll be honest, at that point, I'm not doing a lot. But then our boss walks in and like we all like, and he gets so mad because
Oh, I
no
bet.
one's
Oh my
working
gosh.
at all. And so we get like
Yeah.
spread apart, and it was so embarrassing though. Like as a kid, I was like, I can't believe we got caught and we're in trouble.
Oopsies.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. They were just like asleep. That's kind of funny
literally,
though.
they just took a nap. It's so crazy. But
Oh
no one got
man.
fired or anything. They like
Mm.
we were all, I don't know, linked together somehow. I think those kids were are children of the teachers, so there's no way they are getting fired.
Oh, okay.
But we would get complaints a lot. Well, other people would. I was a great worker.
You were great. Yeah. So, okay, I'm assuming the answer is no, but have you ever been fired from a job?
Um, no. Yeah, no, I've always left.
Really?
Yeah.
I technically wasn't fired. I was laid off from one of my jobs. So I don't really know if that
Yes.
counts, but
Yeah,
we'll
no,
talk
that
about that
doesn't
one
count.
later. I don't think that really counts. It wasn't like, oh, I did something wrong or slacked off and they fired me. It was, we're letting you go.
Yeah.
Bye. Um,
I could not imagine being fired. Like
I know, right? That's like,
because of performance.
mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me. Like I'm going to do a good job. I have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah, I was at that job for like 2 years.
Oh, wow. So Janitor was 2 years. Easter Bunny was just 1 month. So what was after that?
After that, I didn't have a job for like a year
Oh,
because I was
okay.
in college. I was living off of my financial aid,
Mm.
no rent or anything. So I don't think my next one. was until Goodwill.
Okay.
I worked at Goodwill for a couple months. It was during COVID.
Oh, really?
Did I
Okay.
go that long without a job? Oh, I actually applied from my aunt knew someone who was looking for a receptionist esque type person. And I
Mm-hmm.
interviewed and I technically got the job. And they said I could like work remote and I'd come in sometimes. And I declined it because like the
Okay.
one time I went in there and like they took me on an outing to go see, I can't remember what they do. They like outsourcing of building materials of some sort. They're moving materials around
Okay.
and supplying for companies. I don't really get it. I don't remember anymore. But anyways, I
Yeah.
went with them, and he was fine. But I came back and I was talking to a bunch of the workers there, and the whole time they're like, "Yeah, he's really weird. Like he like sucks. Like you're gonna do okay, but like he kind of sucks. He's like the last girl quit because he was kept trying to hook up with her
Whoa, what?
and I got so creeped out. They were all older men, like in their 40s, and they're
Oh,
telling me all this stuff. Like I haven't even started, and I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing this."
they're scaring you off.
Yeah, they completely scared me off. I was like, I'm not
Oh,
gonna work with
shit.
men.
So I guess that wouldn't really, I guess it kind of counts because like you got the job but didn't work there. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna start filling out the paperwork, and then I was like,
Hmm.
hey, a
I'm
different
going with a different
opportunity arose.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally,
yeah.
I lied. I was like,
Uh,
no, thank you.
I'm good actually. I gotcha.
Yeah, I interviewed at a couple of different places, but I didn't really need money while in college. I just
Fair enough.
existed. So I worked at Goodwill during COVID.
Cool. So after I left the first pizza shop job, started at the next one. Um, they set up like training, but I kind of knew everything already. I just had to like learn where the different buttons were on the computer.
Yeah.
So it was basically like the same thing. I had a couple of like not weird stories. So the second place, the pizza shop I worked at had a drive-through. It
Oh.
was a drive-through pizza shop. It was a big glass building essentially with two side doors. So one of the side doors was blocked off, and there was like an outside eating area, and the other one was this drive-through.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of like weird encounters with like people doing shit in their car. So like people would always like smoke in my face like in their car like if I'm like bringing them stuff. There would be like
Yeah.
screaming kids sometimes. There would be like animals sometimes. Sometimes animals got out like while because like it's pizza box or like multiple pizza boxes, so it doesn't always fit in
Through the window.
like through the window. A lot of
Yeah.
the time, and it would also be older people. Like that was a big
Mm.
appeal of our place. Like people could come on, the guy would like put it in their car for them. So
Oh,
I would get
okay.
like better tips when I took the drive-through
Mm-hmm.
because I would like open their trunk and like make room and like put the boxes in if it was like a lot of food or something.
Yeah.
Um, so this place had a drive-through and like not like a ton of like super notable stories. Sometimes the drive-through would get backed up. Like I think the worst ever was like 7 cars. And I was like running back and forth like bringing out stuff and having people pay and
Yeah.
um yeah, the drive-through was notable. One weird story I did have was one time um we got a catering order and we did catering orders all the time and we would deliver them or people would pick them up, but this one was like they wanted their event catered.
Mm-hmm.
So it was my one of my bosses, it was the other two brothers that worked there, so it was one of them and they brought me because I could like I was available and I had the most experience compared to the other like server counter people.
Okay.
So they brought me and we had to like set up sternos and like set up all these trays and everything. Um, and it was like a wedding reception.
Oh,
Like, and they
dang.
catered from like our pizza place for like Italian food. It was kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
So the food was already
Um,
cooked, right? And then you guys were
yeah.
serving it out, kind of?
Yeah, so it was cooked about an hour or 45 minutes before like we were designated to be there.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was put in like the special containers and like we drove over there
Mm-hmm.
um and set everything up. And it was like a wedding reception. It was probably like 60, 70 people.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to stay there the whole time. It was like weird. It was like 1 in the afternoon to like 4 in the afternoon was the
Oh.
wedding reception.
Mm-hmm.
It was um so I like came in that morning at like 11 or so help like prep everything, and then drove over there, set everything up, and then went back to like finish my shift. Um, they tipped us a total of $10.
Are you
Both
serious?
me and my boss to set up, plate, and cater their event. $10.
What? That's so sad.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And they had
Gee.
like there was like a bar at this place with like a barman like serving drinks, and there was like a dance floor
Oh
and like a
no.
DJ, and they paid the food guy $10 to set everything up.
I can't imagine the bartender got paid much
I
more
know,
than at
right?
that case. Fuck.
Yeah. And it
That
was like a small little venue,
sucks.
but it was that sucked.
Always tip, man.
Yeah. Womp womp. Well,
Was it so
um
much food that you guys had to do multiple trips?
no, it was like 12 trays of food, I think. 12 full-size trays.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like four chicken parm and like three salads and like um one thing of like appetizer, and like two was like fish and two was like chicken like entrees. So it
Did
was
you
a
have
lot
to
of food,
dress
but
up at all?
um no, but my uniform like when I worked there was like black jeans and like a black collared shirt
Mm-hmm.
kind of. So I wasn't like dressed up in like a shirt and tie or anything, but I didn't just have like a t-shirt and shorts on or anything. I
Yeah.
had like kind of nicer clothes,
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
Um so this
$10.
place, right? This place I did everything. I
Mm-hmm.
took the phones, I cleaned, I stocked, I delivered, I served, I did the drive-through, I cooked, and I did dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And I did everything here. Um
Did you
I
get
didn't get a
paid
lot of
any
like,
differently depending on what you did or
oh,
no?
so at this place I originally started at getting paid $7 an hour. But
Yes.
then they saw how good I was. I got a raise of $1 an hour. I made $8 an hour,
Whoa.
and tips were better at this place because of the drive-through.
Yeah.
Um, and then what happened was about halfway into me working here. Um, so I think to be a valid business or valid restaurant in the state of New Jersey, I don't know what it was, but you had to have three documented on the books employees. And they had three for the longest time. It was the two brothers and their cousin was a server like one day a week.
Yeah.
So it was the three of them, and they were all paid like checks and taxes and all of that. But eventually their cousin stopped coming, and they asked slash forced me to quote go on the books. So they started like I got paid like a paycheck, and I got that every week, and I went and cashed it. Um, and I made $11 an hour.
Damn. Okay.
Yes. I made $11 an hour.
Big
But
upgrade.
they gave me less tips though.
Mm-hmm.
I would only get tips for tables that I physically served and I left money on the table,
Mm-hmm.
or if I was given cash in the drive-through, basically.
Oh.
I didn't get like anything out of the tip jar. I didn't really get anything on like the receipts, like if you pay with a credit card and then like put a tip on it. I didn't get any of that after that.
Do you think they ever pocketed any of the tips?
From the tip jar, yeah.
Yeah?
So the
As
tip jar at both
owners?
places, yeah, the tip jar at both places, none of the counter people got it, none of the drivers got it. The tip jar was just secondary change for the register. Like if the register ran out of ones, they would just go in the tip jar and put ones in the register.
That's illegal, I think.
Womp womp. Oh well.
Dang. What a scam.
I never got any money from the tip jar.
Damn.
Yep.
That's fucked up.
Oh well. That's just how it worked there.
Yeah.
Um,
So how
yeah, I got
long
no money
did you
from
stay
tip
there?
jar. So from there, I was there from April of 2018 when I finished Disney, got back from Disney, to June of 2020. So two
Oh
years
wow.
and 2 months. Yeah, I worked there for the beginning of COVID when that all started. I looked crazy because I had on like this collared shirt, a mask, um, and then like on my belt I would have like a phone and like a rag and like other shit like on me. It
Mhm.
was I looked so stupid.
Did you when you ended up leaving, were you still making an 11 or did you ever get another raise?
I think it might have gone to 12, but I
Okay.
think that's the highest it got. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so the first year and change, I like just did phones and like cleaning and stocking and the occasional delivery.
Mhm.
That last year, um, it came to a point where my schedule changed. So I would work Thursday night, Friday morning, and Saturday night, and that's all I worked because I had class and stuff. And I would
Yeah.
like take like switch shifts here and there, and but that was my main schedule like my freshman year of college.
Mhm.
Um, so Friday they had me come in the morning, so I would work from 11 to 4 instead of like 5 to 9 or 5 to 10. Um, and in the mornings on Fridays they had like decent lunch rushes from like teachers from schools.
Ooh, okay.
Um, so it came to the point where like they had me also cooking like uh lunch specials and stuff and like frying
Ooh.
things and like refilling things like making cheesesteaks and making the appetizers and making sub sandwiches and that kind of thing like during like the
Yum.
really busy periods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go through much
um
training through that at all, or?
no, I just like watched and learned over like the however many years. Like cheesesteaks were easy. You just took out the beef, put it on like the grill and like chopped it up and put it in the roll, so it wasn't like really hard. I never did pizzas. Um, I think I did a couple times, but like not like for sale or anything, like just for fun.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, did you ever do
Um,
like a food handler's card at all, or is that just a Cali thing?
Food handler's card? I don't know what that is.
It's
Cards? Card?
like you have to you have to pay for it, take a class online, and basically like food safety and how not to cross contaminate and wash your hands and
No.
food should
I
be
mean,
this
like,
temp and shit like that.
no, I never did anything like that. I was
Oh.
always very frequent in washing my hands. They were pretty big on that.
Yeah, okay. Sure you were.
They in COVID when COVID started, I started wearing gloves for everything.
Yeah.
So I would maybe occasionally like pull fries out of the bag and put them in the fryer by hand or like pour them. But like when COVID started, I started like wearing gloves and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean like the cooks were just like their friends, like just
Yeah.
like other Mexican guys. Yeah, I don't like they knew how to cook the stuff. I don't know if they like were cooks by trade. You know what I mean?
They don't know how to
They were
cook.
paid in cash. Like,
Oh, dang. Everyone, huh?
yeah, yeah. And then sometimes they just like one day they would be there, and the next day they just wouldn't be there for like 4 months, and then they'd be back.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Dang.
sometimes like there were like regulars who were like there was this one guy, Greg, who like worked there for a year, and then he just stopped coming in. And then he came in like one day, like while I was working like 9 or 10 months later, and like asked for a job again and like started coming in. So
They're like, oh,
it was
hey,
real loose.
where'd you go?
Yeah. Like
Dang.
driver schedules were like just by the day. Like, okay, this person works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this person works Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And it was just like if somebody showed up, like they didn't care who it was, anything like that. Yeah.
They just want anyone to work.
Yeah, basically.
Crazy. Did you like it?
Um I did like it in a way. Like definitely like up towards COVID and into COVID, I knew I was wasting my time there
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't doing anything related to my field. Um and towards the end, they were asking me to work like a lot, like and
Mm.
I was in school, so I was working like it moved around a lot. But I think towards the end, I was like working like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or something. Like Wednesday, Thursday night, when Friday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, like like every
Back to
week.
back to back. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot. Um, but then COVID like really kind of took off, and I got a programming job. I guess we'll talk about those later. But I just like quit. So
Womp
I would
womp.
just came in one day and left. Yeah, womp womp. I was like, hey, I got a job in my field. I start there on Monday, so I need either today or tomorrow to be my last day. And they were like, they were
Dang.
so annoyed
Not
because
even
I was
two
like,
weeks?
nope. I bailed on them, and
Yeah.
I told
Ah,
them
fuck them. Who cares?
I know. And there was like I was doing everything. Like I was calling Coca-Cola to refill like the fountain soda like syrup things. Like they weren't doing that. They were like,
Really?
Kyle, we
You're
need
managing.
two of the spray. I was like the manager almost.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. I like helped switch people's shifts and stuff too a little bit. I didn't schedule anybody, but people talked through me to like get their shifts switched a bunch. Um,
Yeah, literally that's
I
a
I
manager's
was
job.
basically manager.
So you were just
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah, like I might still have like the Coca-Cola support phone number in my phone because I just
Memorized.
bookmarked it. Yeah. You're supposed to do it on the computer. It was for one of like the freestyle machines, like
Mhm.
where you have like all the different flavors. So it
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
special. And every time they're like, "Can you order on the computer, please? We're trying to like sunset this." And I was like, "Dude, we do not have a computer in the building."
So the bosses would tell you to order stuff?
Yeah, they would be like, "We need this many of this cartridge, this many of this one." And I would write it down, and then when it like got like slow, I would like call and like order, and they would like tell me how much it would be, and I'd have to like put it in like the sheet of expenses
Mhm.
and all that. Yeah,
That's
it
crazy.
got
Just
crazy,
add in like time and effort and tip yourself
right?
on the expense sheet.
A lot of times they would try to get me to stay late, like if I worked in the mornings and like cook like into the evenings, because like Friday pizza night kind of like rushes. But they weren't paying me like anymore. Like you know what I mean? So I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm out of here, man.
No,
Like I'm going to go
that's how it
stream.
should
See
be.
ya.
Like if they're not gonna pay you more, don't do extra work.
Yeah.
Why are you gonna help the company benefit if you're not gonna benefit? Doesn't
I
make
mean, I got a
sense.
lot of free food,
Oh,
but
well
and
that's
I got to make
nice.
whatever I wanted. But
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, there was one time Shania was able to come in. I made the Kyle sandwich.
Oh yes, I have heard
Yes.
about this
Yeah.
famous
The
sandwich.
Kyle sandwich is on a long sub roll,
Mhm.
and it is buffalo crispy buffalo chicken. So like buffalo chicken tenders, like chopped up, kind of.
Crispy, you said?
Um, yeah, crispy, so not grilled.
Yum. Mhm.
And then mayo on the roll,
Mhm.
melted mozzarella cheese, and some lettuce.
Oh,
It's
that's it.
good. That's it. It's really
Did it
good.
take a lot of experimentation to create this?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I would make. And sometimes like they haven't done it in a while, but like one time like a year after I left,
Mhm.
they were like, "Hey, do you want the sandwich you would make?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, like all right, you can go in the back and make it." Like they didn't care. I was like,
Dang.
"Sweet." And then they
Oh,
just billed me.
that's
Yeah.
so cool.
But
Oh,
every
you still
time
got billed? You had to make it yourself?
definitely discounted, but yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
was still I paid like $4 or something.
Yeah. Oh, not bad for a
Um,
sandwich.
but
Yeah.
I can't go there to order anymore because every time I go there, like you know, it's nice to see them, but then they're like, "All right, so can you work? Like, why are you really here?" Like, they're like every time I go there, they're like, "Hey, are you looking to work?" Like,
Every
we'll get
time, really?
like almost every time. I think the last time I went there, because like it's right next to where I get my haircut.
Yeah.
Um, I got my haircut and I got lunch there, and I like talked to him for a while, and then like I was about to leave, and he was like, "Hey, if you ever want to work," like I was like, "I don't."
Just tell them, yeah, but like, your salary and then add on like another 20K
My salary.
and see what they say.
Um, so the only other I feel like I've been talking forever. I have one other story and it's a bad one. It was
Uh-oh.
I thought I would get fired, but I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So um my car was I was trying not to drive it for deliveries basically.
Right.
And I think um this day it might have been like I had a rental car. For whatever reason I didn't have my car. I
Okay.
don't remember why. And my boss made me take his truck to take like 3 deliveries.
Uh-oh.
I had never driven a truck before.
Uh-oh.
I had a license. It was his truck with his registration and insurance. If I got pulled over, like it's gonna look like I stole the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yes, sir. I will go drive the truck and I'll take it." Everything goes fine.
Okay.
Everything's smooth. I get back. I park the truck. I, I park next because it was like 3 slots, one, two, three. Middle one was open. That's when I drove out of. I was a little bit too far to the right, and I kind of barely scratched my other boss's car.
Oh my god.
Just barely.
Wee!
Like if I like could have gone like and like rubbed it off, like it like
And you didn't?
smudged the paint. I did, but like it was still like a little bit noticeable.
So you
It wasn't
said
like a
something?
scratch. It was like a smudge, really. So I
Alright.
went
You
and
should,
told
yeah,
him.
you should, no, you told him?
I had to tell him. He
Oh,
was
you're
gonna see it
so
and like see the
honest.
fucking car. So I told him, and
They
he
would
was
never
like,
have noticed.
he like swear to me and like he was obviously angry because the car was a Porsche.
Ooh. Oh, shit. You fucked up
I
a
have never told
Porsche?
anybody this. I scuffed the Porsche.
Damn.
So I was like freaking out. I was like, I know, I'm sorry, like totally my fault. I will like, whatever you want to do, I'll help pay for the damage. And
Yeah.
he was like
No,
mad. He
you
was like,
said that?
okay, yeah, I did. I've like it was my fault. Like I scratched his car.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
I'm
guess.
I'm liable. So, and he was like mad. He was like, okay. And I came back in the next day, and I'm like looking at the car to like see how bad it is because it's like daylight now.
Mhm.
There's nothing there. No scruff, no scratch, no nothing. Nothing. So go over to him and I'm like, "Did you like get your car fixed or something?" He was like, "Oh no, there was like nothing there." It must have been like mud or something. Like it looked worse at
Yeah.
night. And then like in the day, it was like fine. So I was like I like barely that's how barely I touched
Did
it.
you
Like it was
wipe it
obvious I
at
did.
all or no?
I think I like went like light with my fingers because I
Mm.
didn't want to make it worse or something.
Okay.
But I think it was like a little smudge with like some grease or mud or something.
Yeah.
But at the time, looked like really bad, but I guess it wasn't.
That's so funny. Good thing like, nothing actually came from it.
Yeah, because it was a Porsche. It was probably gonna be like $1,000 to get the fucking paint fixed on his car if it
Oh my
was.
god, if it did, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the last crazy story I have there. I got a lot of friends' jobs there.
Mhm.
I worked there with Fiery Psycho for a while.
Oh wow.
I think he still worked there even after I left, and a couple of other friends from high school, were like drivers there for a little while. Um, I trained too many like because at that point I was like 21 or 20
Yeah.
and these were like 15-year-old 16-year-old like high school girls that I'm like training
Mhm.
and it was just starting to get like really awkward and I would have to like train them and they would like ask me to come in special days to train people too. Ugh. So I left in June
Damn.
of 2020. Yeah. I could tell a billion stories about the pizza shop, but oh, I do have one more. I do
No,
have one
tell
more.
it.
Okay, I've got one
Please, you
more.
have to.
So one of the coolest, not coolest, but like one of the most interesting coworkers I worked with was he said, "Diez dice." So he was 16 years old, um, Mexican kid,
Okay.
spoke no English,
Mhm.
um, did not go to school. He was a cook. He was a chef in the back. And I really don't think this guy was a citizen. I don't know what his deal was, but
Mhm.
like the police would come in all the time and like my bosses would like give them free stuff and he would always like go to the back or something.
Mhm.
Like it was like really sketch. Um, and one time I go into the walk-in freezer, the walk-in closet, to get something like extra ranch or whatever the fuck. And this guy was in there also doing something, but he like from the bottom like pulled out like a thing of beer, and he was like, "You want a beer?" And I was like, "No, like I'm working. Like, thank you though." And he was like, "I'm having one," but he said that in Spanish, obviously. He was like, "Whatever." He opened it with his teeth and downed the whole bottle in front of me put the cap back on it and put it back and put it away.
What? At
Yes.
16?
Yes.
What a guy.
It was like 8 o'clock at night. It was kind of winding down. He opened it with his teeth. I will never forget what it looked like. It was crazy.
Ugh.
And he drank the entire beer. And I was like, cool. And then I I left.
Did anything come from it? Like,
No. No,
what?
because
No one
like
was like,
on
there's an empty beer
on
bottle here.
on Friday and Saturday nights, like when it was like late, like they would all have like beer or drink like before they left, like while they were cleaning and like scrubbing the fryers and stuff. So
Oh. So it
it
wasn't.
wasn't like he was hiding the alcohol, but it was like weird that like I guess he couldn't like walk out with it like while he was on a shift.
Yeah.
So it was
Hmm.
yes. Okay, that's the last
I
story from
wonder
that
where
job.
he is now.
Me too.
That's
No
so
idea.
crazy. Um,
Yeah.
where was I? Trying to think what jobs have I done. Okay, Goodwill. Goodwill's boring. I didn't really do anything there. I was sort of
Okay.
close in the back.
You see anything weird at Goodwill?
Um,
Any weird clothes?
a lot of nasty clothes, like completely torn, covered in hair. Um,
Okay.
my particular Goodwill is like um pretty uptight about like what we would take. We wouldn't take clothes without tags, which
Okay.
is kind of weird to me. Yeah, like there would be really really nice stuff, but if it didn't have a tag, like we weren't going to accept
Huh.
it.
I
Um,
wonder why.
but yeah, nothing crazy there. I was only there a couple months. It was a lot of old ladies, super old
Yeah.
ladies working in the back. Because during COVID, we wore like masks and gloves, and
Mhm.
that was it. And then I quit that because my mom started working at a 55 and up community, and
Yeah.
there was a golf course in the community, and they were looking for a bev cart girl.
I know this job. Yeah.
And I was
You have
like,
some stories from this one.
I could be a bev cart girl. So my mom basically got me hired. The thing is, though, is I started off in the winter, and they would have me go out
Yeah.
in the winter, which is it's Florida, so it doesn't get like it's not snowing,
Freezing. Yeah.
but it was still so cold for Floridians. Like no one's going out. I would go out and I would have drinks, and they would have me make drinks. I was maybe like 20.
Mhm.
And you can serve drinks 18 and up in Florida.
Yeah.
So I was making makeshift cocktails like gin and tonics or vodka and club or Bloody Marys and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it wasn't until summertime where it like started to pop off, and it was all old people, and they're like, "Oh, you're so cute," and blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
It was so much fun just driving a golf cart around and serving drinks, and
Yeah. Driving golf
I
carts
got
cool.
paid minimum wage,
Okay.
but I got tips. So for
Yeah.
me, I was like, wow, this is good money. Um,
Mm.
but there was this one guy, super nice. He would only ever order a single bottle of water, and he did this a couple times. But there was like one time he got a bottle of water, and he gave me some money, and he was like, keep the change. I was like, oh my goodness. Are you sure? And he was like, yeah, keep the change. It was $100. He just gave me $100. I was like, are
What?
you sure? Like you don't
That's
want anything else. You
crazy.
just want a bottle of water. He was really nice, and not in a creepy way.
Yeah.
Like he never like came on to me or tried touching me or
Mhm.
anything. He was like for once a nice guy. There was plenty of older
Yeah.
men who would try to come on to me and touch me, and but
Yeah.
so I
I feel
did
like you have
that.
some stories there.
So thankfully, like my mom worked there, and she was an assistant manager of like the whole property, and people knew of
Okay.
her and knew I was her daughter. So like, I think I got a little protected from that at least.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, definitely. Like I would have, I lived in the community with my mom, and so
Yeah.
I would have people saying like, you should set up a hot tub in front of your house. I'd drive around to see that.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God. Old
So
people are
disgusting.
crazy. Yeah, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Like, hello, you're like 80 years old. Why are you saying that to me? So
Yeah, what the
gross.
heck? That is gross. What did
Um,
your mom say? Like, she probably knew, like they were
yeah.
saying
Oh, I
that.
would tell her. She would just be like, "Don't listen to him. That's like gross."
Hmm.
Like, but nothing would come from it.
Jeez.
You know, you can't tell old
Yeah.
people stuff. They won't listen. Um,
Ugh.
yeah. So I did that, and I like worked in the golf shop too, and I would take phone calls and schedule people's tea
Oh, okay.
times. But from that, it was a combination golf course with a restaurant and like then the golf thing. Like they were all together in the same building. Um,
Yeah.
and it was like COVID was just starting to lighten up in Florida, so they finally opened the restaurant back up, and they needed a waitress, and they asked if I wanted to do it. And at first I was like, no, because I would make less money, but they're like, you'll make more tips, and I was like, there, I don't really think
Mm.
I will. And then I was so anxious. Like I
Hmm.
hate talking to people. It made me so nervous, but I ended up doing it. I'm really glad I did because like honestly, it helped with anxiety a little bit.
Okay.
Um,
Nice.
but yeah, so I did that. I started waitressing. I was
I
damn
I
good at
might
it.
be I might be wrong, but I feel like before you said like the base hour pay was like really, really cheap, right? It wasn't like
Oh
two
yeah.
something, like 275 or something like that.
I think it was like
$5.
$5.
Oh
So instead
shit.
of minimum wage, I was making waitress minimum or like serving minimum wage, which was like $5. I'm not sure what it is now for Florida, but so
Hmm.
that's why I was like, I don't know if tips is going to equal out to more than
Yeah, like
minimum wage
balance out.
with tips already,
Yeah.
but I think it did. And then they had like a little makeshift bar there, and so sometimes I got to bartend, and they would have events where they do I don't know bingo and karaoke and shit like that, and
Hmm.
I could bartend with another worker there, but
Oh,
um,
okay.
it was nice. The staff there was really sweet. All older people. They're really nice to me. I get along well with others, I think. So it was good. They would make me food from time to time. But at
Okay.
one point, like an older woman left that I didn't know, but she came back, and I had never met her before. But she starts walking around and like ordering me like she's the boss. We're on the same level. She knows everyone there because she's worked there before for many many years, and so she's telling people she's like, "This is my new little helper. Look at her." Like, I'm like 20 years old. I'm an adult,
Heck.
and it's super super weird. I don't like her. She, like I said, she was bossing me around. There's one night in particular, she was like, "I'm gonna count the drawer and you're gonna sweep," and it like the whole week I had been sweeping. I had been doing all like the cleanup work at the end of the night. And I was
Okay.
so sick of her at this point. I was like, "No, I'll count the drawer and you sweep." She's like, "Ugh." I was like, "I can do it. I've done it plenty of times before."
Yeah.
And so she like threw a fit, and I got
Jeez.
so mad. I like never
That
get
they
mad.
sound
I mean,
annoying.
I get mad, but I never express my
Mm.
anger at people. So
Yeah.
finally did. I'm like shaking
That was
thinking
so
about it.
bad.
Yeah, did that for a little bit. I don't think I
Okay.
have many, many crazy stories. Definitely like creepy guys. I'd have guys hit on me and ask me out, but
Yikes. Yeah.
nothing too strange for
Hmm.
the life of a lady.
At least did you make like were they all like did any of the creepy ones like at least tip or was it just like they were creepy and like didn't give you any money?
No, they would all tip.
Okay. Because I didn't know if it would be like, oh, he gave me like $20. He's still creepy though.
We had this
I don't
one
know.
family
Does it
that
make
would
it hurt less?
always. I no, no, it does. I'm like, if you're gonna be an asshole and like be weird, at least give me your money.
Yeah.
Make it more not comparable, but like make it better. But when
Hmm.
I was serving, there's this one family who'd come in once a week. So weird. They would order the same exact thing, but then they would always be very like peculiar, like, "Oh, this isn't good," and or I need this and this and this and this, and then they
Hmm.
would just not tip. Like, so they were
Uh,
so so picky, and then leave no money whatsoever, and they would stay for hours
and they
too.
would keep your table. I think I remember you talking about
Yeah,
these people. Yeah.
yeah,
So like you were stuck with them because they didn't leave and you didn't get a fresh table in or something.
right, yeah, that would happen all the time. Um, Super annoying.
Yeah, that's so shitty. Jeez.
Yep.
I think it's Munch and Crunch time.
Munch and crunch time.
I think it's Munch and Crunch time.
Yeah.
Woo! What do you got? What do you got?
I have cheese and crackers.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
have tasty cakes and crimpets.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna
giving
be
myself a
hella
headache because
awesome.
I'm like getting mad thinking about
Oh my
old
goodness.
jobs, stressing
Hmm.
myself out.
I kind of stressed myself out when I thought about the car one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Porsche.
Oh my God.
Scary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So that was your last job before you moved, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then you went to Olive Garden.
And then I went to not Olive Garden.
No? Wait.
No. I had a little in between job.
Oh yeah, because they had to build the Olive Garden. I remember
Yes.
this now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you know me. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I went a couple months without a job.
Okay.
When I moved, it was like September, like very early September. I don't think I ended up getting
Yeah.
a job till November.
Okay.
Um, but I got hired in November to work at Olive Garden. They were supposed to open in November, and then like a week later, they're like, "Actually, we're not opening until January." I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, I need something else." So I like applied to a bunch of places again. And there was they're not temp positions. What are they called? When it's like just holidays?
Seasonal. Seasonal,
Seasonal.
right?
Mm-hmm. So I applied to a seasonal position at Target.
Oh, wait. I think this sounds familiar now. I forgot about it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you worked at Target for a little bit.
I worked at Target
Around like
for
Christmas time.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a month and a half, very short time. Um,
Cool.
Very stressful. Not really, not at all. It was honestly the times I loved. I was working like 36 hours, so not
Ooh,
quite full time, but like still up there in hours.
nearly, yeah.
Um, but I would work like 4 a.m. to like 12 or 2, Whatever eight
Okay.
hours is. I can't do that math that fast.
Yeah, because you would always have to get off super early. I remember
Mm-hmm.
all this now. It's coming back now, yeah.
Yeah, I have to get off really early. Um, I like got no sleep. I would sleep only 6 hours or something
Mm-hmm.
silly there. And I'm a 10-hour sleep girl. I
Mm-hmm.
went 10 hours every night. Um, but yeah, I was just stocking up clothes basically. I was like
Okay.
their fashion. They have some stupid fancy name for it.
Oh, okay.
But I did that for a little bit.
Um, any weird stories there at all? Or just stalking,
Um,
basically?
yeah, no, basically just talking. It was everyone there was really nice and super sweet. Um, I got there during Christmas time, so did a gift exchange, and I was like, okay, sure. And I crocheted someone's stuff, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But like, they really
Oh,
didn't
cool.
appreciate it, and that's okay.
Oh, what?
I was like, this is so.
No.
I mean, I didn't just crochet. I was like, I know some people aren't gonna like that, so I also put in like gift cards and what you call it. But
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was so cool.
That is
But
cool. What the heck?
I did like Harry Potter bookmarks, which is so funny because
Oh.
I did the same thing for Daniel, and now he's gonna know that
No.
I copied
Outed,
it.
exposed,
I know.
exposed,
Never told
regifted.
him. But
Oh
basically,
no.
um, but yeah, it was super. I loved the 4 a.m. because it was just dead silent. It was
It was chill,
just
yeah.
a couple
The egg
people.
shift.
Mm-hmm.
The egg
I
shift.
don't like talking to people.
That's fair.
And then I went to Olive Garden.
And you went to Olive Garden. Yeah, because I remember the Olive Garden had to be built.
Yeah.
And I was like, so what made you want to do Olive Garden though? Because I would have been like, oh, they're not even open, like they're still building. I'll get a job somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Tips.
Do people
Um,
tip a lot there? I think you've said like they tip a lot.
no, they tip shit.
Oh.
But California, everyone makes minimum wage. So I
So
was
yeah, it's like
making
15 or whatever.
$15 an hour with tips. Like
It's pretty
it was
good.
up to like 20 something an hour
Yeah.
at that point. Um, I don't know. I just stuck with it because I like it was only a month. And yeah, maybe I should look somewhere else, but I like Olive Garden food.
Yeah, that's also
I
true.
do. I thought it was fancy. Mine before I got hired, I had only been a couple times, and I always thought it was like super fancy, like upscale kind of a place. Turns out it's not, but
I feel
yeah.
like the food was really good, and then it was like really bad for a while, and now it's good again or something. Because there was like a time where I went there, like,
Hmm.
when I was younger, and then we just like stopped going there
Really.
altogether. Yeah.
Apparently there was like they used to have a whole salad bar sort of a
Yeah,
thing,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. But I was ended up being there for like a year and a half,
Okay.
2 years. I don't remember. It was awful. That is honestly the worst job I've ever had. It was
Really?
so
Olive
good.
Garden?
Yeah. Oh yeah. People
Wow.
were mean. I literally I definitely left a couple times crying. I still have nightmares to this day about Olive Garden. I will wake up
Wow.
with so much anxiety because I feel like I forgot something. People are not
That's
nice.
insane.
Yeah. I have quite a few
Whoa.
stories. Also like it's so crazy how people will be like, "You're the best server I've ever seen. Thank you so much. You're so great," and then leave like $5 on a $100 check. Where like
Yeah,
the
it's
standard's
pretty
eighteen
brutal.
percent, so that's gonna be like $18.
Mm.
It's
And it's like, it's not like they're just picking up their food like for takeout. Like you're serving on them, you're doing the whole cheese thing, you're refilling their drinks,
that's
you're
the thing is they
all the
don't get it.
waitering things.
Serving is hard. Probably not the hardest job in the whole wide world, but Olive Garden is especially hard in comparison to other restaurants because of the refillable soup and salad. Like it's not even just the
Oh.
entree itself, but if you get a soup or a salad with your entree, that is also refillable, and people know that.
Hmm.
So people can, just soup after soup after soup, which is fine. Get your money's worth. I completely understand that, but like once you start being like where's my soup? It's been 2 minutes. Like I
Yeah.
have three
And
other
you I guess
tables who are
you have to
all
remember who had what soup.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to remember everyone
Mm.
wants this soup, and then it's like oh I want a soup and I want a salad and then I want a soup and we have to carry them on the trays and
Hmm.
we have to cheese all the great. It takes so much time. And the
Yeah.
breadsticks. And the
And the
breadsticks are
breadsticks.
also refillable. It's
Yeah,
like I get it, but just people aren't patient.
I gotcha. Ooh. So
Um,
you would really have like nightmares still,
oh
like and like
yeah.
wake up. Wow, that's
I haven't had one
crazy. What?
this month, but I'm pretty sure I had one last month.
Whoa.
Not super frequent. They were definitely more frequent when I worked there, but no, I still
Okay.
get them. So much
Oh,
anxiety from that
jeez.
job. Um, so
Yeah,
I
I
just
guess
started out as a server and then eventually worked as a bartender there.
So did you go back and forth though? Were you like switch bartender and server then?
Yeah,
Okay.
bartenders are servers. Like they do all the same serving stuff. They just also make drinks.
Also made the drinks. Okay.
So it like sometimes I'll have a bartending shift, sometimes I'll have a serving.
Hmm. Nice. So you also met Daniel there though, so that's pretty cool. At least one
Mm-hmm.
good thing
One
came
good
out of
thing.
if this is your worst job ever.
Worst job ever as far as like the job itself, but I will say it's the best job I've ever had as far as like meeting and connecting with people.
Oh,
Even
all
though
your
I don't
coworkers were
like,
good and stuff.
yeah, even though I don't really keep in
Nice.
touch, that's more so me. Like I don't know, I don't reach out to people as much as I should.
Mm.
But everyone there was just so nice and like, and young and cool, and we could just talk and gossip at work. But
Mm-hmm.
I do have one story, like I think my worst experience or worst customer. Um, it was like late into the night. I had one table left. It was okay. I actually have no idea at the time, so I'm making them up. I have a four table section, but I have one table. Um,
Okay.
and it's a guy and a girl. It's a couple, and they order drinks, give them drinks. They order entrees. I get soups and salads, whatever. And I'm walking around and like looking at them. I'm like, okay, they're good. They still have soup. They still have breadsticks. Their drinks are
Okay.
full. And I'm like walking by. They still look good. Their entrees come out. I come and give them their soup, and they're like, I'm like, oh, here's your food. And he's like, oh, well, if you had come back earlier, you would have known that I wanted more soup. Like, oh, you want more
Oh.
soup? I'll go. Yeah, I'll go grab you some. Do you want cheese on your entrees first? He's like, no, I don't want any more soup. Or I don't even. No, he didn't even say that. He was like, sure, whatever, cheese me. And I give him their shit. I go and get their soups.
Mm-hmm.
I bring him and he's like, well, I don't want it anymore. I was like, I'll package this up for you. Or something. Like,
Okay.
I'm trying to be so nice to him.
Yeah.
But he's just so mean. The girlfriend's like dead quiet. He's so
Ooh.
rude. And it's like I had been checking up on you. I
Oh.
like just why'd you have to yell at me? It's so crazy.
Right?
It
What
was
the
much
hell?
worse than how I'm saying it because I can't remember the little details, but I just remember in the moment he was
Mm-hmm.
so mad. He asked to talk to a manager. They had to talk to
Really?
yeah. They were like, well, what went wrong? I was like, nothing went wrong. Everything went right. He's just an asshole. Like
Mm.
I did not do anything wrong. He was my only
Yeah.
table. Like I was not stressful or
You weren't
anything.
busy or anything. Yeah.
No. I had been on them to check on them. They never asked for anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like, I got them
Jeez.
all this fucking free shit. They so
He's
annoying.
just an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds brutal though.
There's another
And you got
time I
coffee too?
accidentally it's a caramel frappe.
Ooh.
I'm choking on it.
Uh-oh.
There's another time too where I accidentally spilled some drinks. Very heavy tray, big party.
Oh
I was at the
no.
last drink, but like I can't. I'm trying to set it down, but they're all spread out, and so I'm like really having to reach. So I have like this one drink on this tray, but I'm holding another drink, and I'm like trying to set it on their table, and I'm leaning too far, and it falls, and so it's just
No.
water, and a little bit spills on this lady's purse, but she goes so crazy and an uproar and like she's like my leather purse, like I need to speak to
Oh,
our
I remember
manager,
this.
like you guys are gonna have to refund me for this and blah blah blah
Oh
blah.
my God. I hate
Yeah,
people like that. Like, what the heck? It's just a little water.
it
It's
was
fine.
literally just a little bit of water too,
Yeah.
and I'm like I'm
Ugh.
so sorry, like it was an accident. I don't
Yeah.
I cannot understand
Well, why'd
people
you
who
have your purse there?
right, people who are mean to customer service and like servers. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Just because they haven't worked in it, I guess.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely. It's like
Yeah.
entitlement and all this shit and uh yeah.
at least now we are both done, hopefully forever, with retail and food and
Yay.
serving and part-time minimum wage work. We have adult jobs. Woo, we did it.
Yeah.
Success.
We did it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got my first grown-up real job uh doing code and stuff in June 2020, right around my birthday. Um I got that job through a friend.
Mhm.
Um, he basically said, "Hey, we're hiring, do an interview." And I said, "Yes, but I also don't know how any of the code you guys use work. There's no way I'll get hired."
Yeah.
So I had like the interview in like 3 days, and like over that weekend, like we got together and he tried to like teach me some basic stuff just in case they asked. Um, but I had the interview, it was all just kind of like personality questions
Yeah.
because it was going to be it was a remote position, so he wanted to make sure I like would mesh well and just kind of ask like some questions on how I'd approach different problems. And he was like, "Okay, we'll hire you. How does $20 an hour sound?" And I went, "Hold on, 20?
How
That
much is
sounds great."
that possible?
Yeah.
Dang.
So I got hired, and my friend Z basically taught me everything there for like the first 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Like every ticket I did, I would like either work on it with him or like he would have to baby me through it kind of
Yeah.
thing as I learned like these different web technologies and how working in enterprise is and like collaborating and meetings and all kinds of things. So I worked part-time and I could pick my own hours. So I could work on the weekend if I wanted, which was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Um, so I typically work like Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday or something. And I would work my like 20 to 30 hours or whatever.
Mhm.
And it was great. I liked it a lot. I had planned on staying there. Like after I graduated, I was getting better at everything I did. I
Yeah.
was taking on bigger like tasks and challenges and fixing things and etc. But I got let go. I was laid off, fired, I guess. It's not fired. Um, in February of 2022. So 3 months before I finished school, I was
Mm.
laid off.
Yep.
Womp womp.
Crazy.
So there had used to be four student workers there. It was a dev team of like 11 of us. It was like a decent sized team at one point.
Mhm.
And like four of us were like students, and it was like my manager and like three like uh programmers and like two like contractors, and it was like a pretty big team. And then the contractors got laid off, and then India got laid off. And I was like, okay, they were cutting like 1099s and like abroad work, and
Yeah.
everything was fine. Like the student workers were still good, everybody was fine. Then my friend who got me the job there left for a different position,
Mhm.
and then one of the other programmers left, so it was a smaller team. And then I guess they thought, why do we just have two students working for us? We might as well cut them and get like one good programmer, I think is what they did.
Yeah.
But they laid off me and the one other student programmer, and then 2 days before it was our last day, a new full-timer started, and I was like, "Yep, okay." And it was a
This
guy
is
right
it.
out of a boot camp, so he was basically a student.
Really?
Yeah, it was a guy who was recruited. He was right out of a boot camp, and he was essentially a student. So I don't know why they traded two of us who knew the
Who
platform
had
for
been there
over a
for,
year
yeah,
for him.
for a
So I don't know
fresh
if it was
face.
like
What?
I don't know if it was like a board thing they didn't want student workers, or if it was a shit, I lost my train of thought there. Or if it was like they need to have certain specifications or like background. They wanted like qualified people working on their platform for auditing purposes or something. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, so yeah, I was laid off, and that was pretty stinky, but it was great. It was the best. I learned something new every day.
Mhm.
Best first industry job, um, and just learned a whole bunch. Was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it looked really good as a student to like have a job
Hmm.
already in your field.
Yeah, definitely. I think for like the CS engineering kind of fields, it's good to try to get like a internship
Oh yeah.
over the summer, like at least by like your junior year or so, just to kind of show that you're into it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I got really lucky getting that job because I basically knew nothing when I started. So
Yeah. That's good.
yeah,
Good that. I feel like with like CS and whatnot, um, it really helps to know someone.
definitely. Yeah,
Definitely
I
helps.
definitely think it helps to know somebody because there was no shot I was getting a job on my own if I didn't know my friend.
Yep.
So and like the fact that like he essentially like trained me up for the first 6 months, like crazy, like super grateful.
Yeah.
So um yeah. So now I'm at my current job. Um it's pretty good. Pay is pretty good for what the work is.
Mhm.
It's remote work again, which is pretty cool. It's more web programming. It's more robust this time around. We have like bigger clients, and I write pricing and bidding and maintenance software for pharmaceutical products. Yay!
Ooh.
Woo!
Sounds so fancy.
My current project is business people are lazy.
Mhm. Mhm.
And in our databases, there are, for each product, each drug product, there's like 8 different names. There's like the main name, and the abbreviated name, and the extended name, and this name, and this name. And business people are lazy, and they never put in the right information in
Mhm.
each box. They'll like shorthand it or leave it blank or whatever.
Mm.
So my project is building a whole system where they can search for items by their SKU number or UPC number, the name, and fix the names. That's the project. Ooh,
Yay!
it's so exciting. It's so
Wow.
exciting.
And you love it?
Yeah. Um, it's been pretty good. I mean, like for what it is, I feel like I really shouldn't be complaining. Stuff can be like a fire drill sometimes.
Mhm.
Like if just the other day, one user got sent the wrong email, and it was like the house was gonna burn down, on like what the heck was gonna how we
Yeah.
were gonna handle it and resolve it, and it's like I didn't fucking write this. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Like why am I involved here?
So funny.
Um, so that kind of stuff can be really frustrating. But yeah, it's a lot of freedom for what I do. I pick what I want to work on most of the time. I pick what I'm gonna do, write it, test it, and just push it up for review most of the time. So like a lot of jobs, it's like okay, you've gotta write like an action plan, then implement it, then test it, then automate it, and and then it goes through QA and it goes back around. It's like a lot slower, a lot more red tape of a process
Yeah.
because we're such a small team, which is something I really value. Not being like just a number, like it's just the 6 of us or just the 5 of us. One
Yeah.
guy quit a little while ago.
Oh no.
Um, yeah. Um, so it's a lot smaller and a lot more just uh, I don't know, flexible, I guess is the right word.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. PTO, unlimited PTO at this
That's
place.
insane.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
flex some more.
Like while our like our jobs now are great, but not as many funny stories now because you're not working like in
Mm-mm.
retail part-time kind of thing.
No, definitely not very eventful at all, but
Mm.
it's nice.
And now you also programming job. Look at us.
Yay! I don't.
Bunch of adults, code monkeys
Yeah, ish. Programming ish.
ish.
But I
Yeah,
also got
yours is a
my
lot
job
lighter.
super light. But for what I'm
Hmm.
making, like, it'll
You could
do.
get a second job if you really wanted, I think.
I should, but I found out that's why the last person that worked there before me got
Hmm.
fired. Cause like
Yeah.
technically we have our like hours of operation kind of thing. It
Gotcha.
kind I don't know how it works, but
Hmm.
wouldn't that be so cool though?
That would be cool.
um,
Your job's a lot lighter. I think you said
super.
like technically your title's like front end, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
cool.
It's front end. Super easy. I work for a retail company and I update images and
retail
CTA
corporate,
linkings and
front
yeah,
end designer, SEO, and
yeah,
pictures and positions and colors.
a lot of that.
Pretty cool.
Super fun. I love it. I
Yeah,
honestly love that stuff, but I want more.
sweet. I
So,
gotcha. Like mine is very much all ends of it.
mhm,
I design the schemas for different or new database tables. I build all the different modeling on the back end, all the different relationships between tables, all of the business logic. Can this user with this role go to this page at this time because of X, Y, or Z?
mhm,
Um, all the front end, the styling, positioning, um, all the JS query optimization. So it's everything, which is what I liked it. I, I like I like everything but like doing the design and the colors and making things look nice.
yeah,
I make everything look super basic. So,
yeah. I like making
but yeah,
stuff
I
look
guess full
nice.
stack,
More money.
pretty cool. More money, more money.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, what's cool is at one point we almost got you a job at my job.
Yeah, that would
Um,
have been so sick.
That would have been really cool. What happened though was
I didn't know the language.
not even that because at the time they were looking for like people they could train up like on their like company language like internal
Yeah,
because like we use some broad like we use like PHP and like JavaScript and SQL, but we also have like a lot of proprietary like tools and softwares that we use as well that are
yeah.
like company maintained. So they were at that time willing to invest in training up a new person. But I think what happened was like two major projects got brought on and they needed somebody where they could just start kind of.
Oh,
So I think
okay.
it kind of fell, and ever since then, like we have only needed like senior people.
Yeah.
But yeah, my not my manager, but like the guy who hired me, the one you talked to, he told me recently that they have it within their budget to bring on like three new people and like a Scrum person. So that's exciting.
Cool. Yeah, send me the application.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I'll let you know if it's actually
uh,
real. So,
yeah. What I liked with my job too, like there wasn't a technical interview because I definitely would fail those.
yeah.
It was definitely just a vibe check.
Oh,
So
cool.
if jobs can just keep giving me vibe checks, I've got this.
I guess we should definitely talk about like the tech interview process because it's crazy. Like for some engineering positions, like big FANG companies are these like, multiple day, multiple interview processes with like
Yeah.
abstract algorithm questions to measure like your problem solving skills and if you know like these obscure algorithms. And yeah, I think luckily neither of us got any of that at
No,
all.
I could not. I literally do not think I could like physically do that. I cannot
Yeah.
prepare myself for that situation.
I I don't know. My one friend who works at Amazon now has told me like I could probably try to get you an interview, and every time I kind of dodge him because I know that I cannot do that interview process. I would have to quit
Mm-mm.
my job and study tech interviews for
Yes.
for full time for like months before I'd feel comfortable doing that.
No,
Um,
literally.
it's
It's
it's insane
scary and
how
so
it can be.
much and uh
So my interview for my current job, was very personality based, but I was given a like coding assignment, like a
yeah.
test, where I had to use the framework to build like a user management CRUD system,
Hmm.
which is like creating and deleting and changing users' names and whatever other fields about them. Standard like uh, system tooling.
Yeah.
So I did that and I like made it all fancy. I like gave users a profile and like all these other traits, and I like you logged in with Google, and I made it so like I use like a JavaScript library for like liking profiles or whatever I did,
Yeah.
and they were like, "This looks really good," because I was competing against one other candidate. I found out,
Oh, okay.
so it was me versus somebody else. Um, so I knew that I was gonna get an offer when they were like, "All right, we went through your assignment. Can you share your screen and like go through it? Like, what was your process in writing this?"
Hmm.
So I just started talking, and I'm like, "Well, first I'm gonna start with the routes file and blah 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 blah," And I think about 2 minutes into me just like I didn't even get like logged into the site yet. I was just talking about how I implemented the logging in system. Like,
Yeah.
you can stop talking. Like, we get it. You didn't copy this from like a YouTube tutorial.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they're looking for.
And then they were like, "Yep, we want you. We're gonna send you an offer." And I was like, "Cool, okay."
That's
Because
good.
at the time, I had one competing offer from a defense contractor,
Mm-hmm.
and I really didn't want to work for the defense contractor,
Yeah.
like at all. Like I had a solidified offer from them, and it was like decent money, but it would have been like in person, shirt and tie, commute, like
Uh-uh.
9 to 5 bullshit, and I did
And didn't you
not
have to
want
get
that.
like certain credentials or something?
Yeah, I would have had to get gotten like a security clearance. I wouldn't be able to
Clearance.
talk about what I do, which is just like, uh,
Boring.
so definitely not my style. And I was only going to take it if my current job didn't work out and the
Yeah.
pay was comparable, which it was. They kind of met me in the middle between their offer and my other offer. So,
Okay,
you know,
that's good.
definitely worked out. Very happy with my job now. So,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, most days
Eh,
I am.
most days.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have any other obscure job stories about your current job or anything?
Hmm. My current one? No, I don't think so. It's literally so very
Mm-hmm.
day to day. So easy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Love it.
All right. The big question is now, how much do you get? No, I'm
Oh
just kidding.
shit! Oh
I'm just
shit!
kidding.
Hey, not enough
Yeah.
to rent out an apartment in California. I'll tell you that.
Fair
Still
enough.
living at home. One day.
One day.
Yeah, I need a job hop. I need to look. I want more money.
I have gotten DMs from like LinkedIn recruiters where a couple of them were like, "Hey, we see your profile. Do you want an interview?"
Yeah.
And two of them were like, "We see your profile. Like, this is what we'll offer you. Like, if you just get on the phone with us." And I was
Dang,
like, "Whoa."
really?
Yeah. Like, I got one from Ramsey, Dave Ramsey. It's like a financial guidance debt planner guy. Um, and his company has like all these different tools for like debt saving and whatever else.
Yeah.
And I got like a LinkedIn DM for a recruiter for them, and they were like, "Hey, do you want a job? This is the technology. This is how much we're paying. We like you. Set up a call, and we'll go into detail." And I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." Um,
Weird.
because the way they sounded, like, "Here is your offer," was like the way it was like written.
Yeah.
Like
Was it
no
good
interview
money?
need. It was gonna be more money
Oh,
by a lot than what I'm making now, but it would have been on site
ugh.
in Tennessee somewhere.
Tennessee.
Yeah, so I
What?
would have
That's
had to
so
move.
cool.
I was not, yeah, I
Go
was like,
reach back.
I was like,
Dang.
I was like, I'm not willing to relocate as much as I'd like to talk to you about your opportunity, etc. Bullshit, whatever I said.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
I feel like
But
half the
I read,
times off of LinkedIn, I only get scammed people like trying to reach
oh
out.
really?
Yeah.
Huh. I also read into their company culture and stuff, and I don't think I would want to work there either. So yeah. Um, but I've gotten a bunch of that like scammy stuff. Um, and I've gotten a few like legit ones that were like not like a copy paste. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That was like I read through your profile, I checked out your website, I saw you did this and this, like I liked your background, like really personalized.
Yeah, smart.
And most of the time like those ones were like less than what I make now. So I was like, "Oh,
Mm.
sorry, like I'm not looking." Was
Bump
basically
it
what I
up a
said.
little, and then we'll start talking.
Yeah.
Have you ever you said you negotiated with your current one, right, to get it to?
Yeah. So my current job initially offered me $10,000 less than the defense contractor job.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically got them to meet me halfway.
Okay.
Yeah. So they like were like, "Okay, we won't go to that exact, but we'll go like the half of it." And I was like, "That's fine.
Hmm.
I'll take that."
Something more
Yeah.
at least.
I always suggest you negotiate your tech salary, especially if it's just with HR and not engineering.
Mm-hmm.
because if they're like, oh, we'll offer you $80,000, you can just be like, oh, I want 95. And most of the time they'll just be like, okay, or they'll be like, sorry, we can't do that, or they'll just give you like something a little bit better. So
Yeah.
they're not gonna like if you're like, hey, you're offering 80 and I want 95, they're not gonna be like, how dare you, and like not give you an offer at all. They
Yeah.
might like question it, but I've never heard somebody like asking for more than being like, actually, never mind, you're greedy and not wanting them. So
Imagine.
I know, right? It's like
I
you might as well ask. Worst they can say is no.
my job they asked, they're like, well, what are you looking at? And I saw what their price range was, so I said the middle one, and they still gave me the lowest. It's like,
Really?
why you even ask?
That's
Yeah.
kind of stinky when you're like you're looking for this much and they're like the best we can do is this and you're like
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I mean like you can try to fight harder, but then it's just like if you keep really digging, it can be like, well, sorry, I guess it's not going to work out, kind of thing.
Yeah. With my position, I didn't have any like background or internships in my field, so I had to
You
like
kind of
I
have to take it,
kind of had
yeah.
to.
Hmm. I mean,
So
it seems like it's working out though. Like you're making pretty good money now, and you're saving up, so
yeah, definitely more
you
money
feel
than I
pretty
was
good.
making, but not enough
Hmm.
coding. I'm never gonna learn and improve.
Yeah. I just got to give you homework or something. Be
I
like, I need you to make
no,
me this by this day.
literally. That
Yeah.
is what I need. I need class structure. I cannot do it on my own. It's
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, the easiest one you can do is where you I won't get into it, but you just make like a text field and you hit a button. You have to have it return like what you entered, like a form,
Right.
basic
I
form.
I could do
Figure
that.
it out. Figure it out. I don't know.
It's
Oh,
hard. I have
cool.
all these little project ideas, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll sign up for $1,000 boot camp. Who knows?
Oh, snap. I don't
uh,
know. I feel like at this point, like you have experience. So if you want to
yeah.
shop around. You just gotta own it.
Yeah. Scary. It's so scary. Oh my
It is
goodness.
scary. Yeah.
Mm.
I felt so unconfident going into my first interview. I literally knew nothing. I knew like HTML, a little bit of JavaScript. Like I could make variables and do like a loop. Like
Yes.
I didn't know any object-oriented JavaScript or anything like that. I couldn't make like a namespace or anything.
Mhm.
Um, and like a little bit of CSS.
Yeah.
Like I knew enough Bootstrap. I was like, all right, I can make it the rows and the columns and like make them go left and right. Like I could
Yep.
do that. Knew
Left
no
and right.
PHP like at all. I barely knew any PHP. Um, I knew nothing about like different design pattern architectures. Um, and I just had to learn everything kind of on the job.
But I
So
mean, that is the best way to learn is with repetition and doing
definitely,
stuff on the
yeah.
job.
And I don't think you said you've mentioned, but I've definitely had a few like aha like moments like I like it clicked like I get it now like how something like works specifically.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any kind of moments like that?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
I
what?
just have really vivid ones, that's all.
Like
Where
what?
it's like I wasn't copy pasting from a tutorial and I like wrote something myself and I was like, ah, I get it. Like that's
Yeah.
how it works. Like with writing a query or like returning data or something. So,
Yeah. Me too. For sure.
yeah.
Sounds just like me.
I think we're out of time.
We're
I think
caught up.
we're out of stories. We're caught up. I'm sure we could talk about more retail stories. Maybe we can save that for another episode. We can try to dig into other stories,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll move to the
Q&A?
Q&A. Any Q&A?
Q's.
Let
Any
me open
any
my chat.
A's for wait, any Q's? And we'll provide A's. Beep bop bop.
Beep boop beep boop
This
beep
is
boop.
not my channel. Hello.
Um,
Okay, I'm here.
I can see everybody. Hello.
Hello, chatters.
Any chatters? Any chatters?
Why do they scatter?
Hashtag ask. Is the pizza shop you worked at still open? Both of them are still open. If you really want to know, I'll tell you the names privately. I won't tell them now. But yes, they are both still open.
And on this
A
street,
third one,
this phone
a
number.
third one open. Yeah, right. Here's the address and everything. Yeah. Hashtag ask. Whoever makes enough money to support me first wins my hand in real
Oh my
marriage.
god, I have to start applying for more jobs
Oh
right now.
my gosh. I gotta get another job.
What? Why? You don't need it. Just give up.
What? Yeah, I do.
No, just give up.
Just give up?
Yeah. Uh,
Oh
hopefully
man.
me.
I'm reading up a bit. I see a comment about discrete
Spot.
math, learning what a for loop is. Hashtag ask. Which clips broke? Elaborate? What do you mean Twitch clips broke? Oh, they didn't do any
You didn't
clips.
do a single clip? Our
Hippo.
unpaid intern?
Hippo, one of your clips last week got like 200 views.
Yeah, Hippo, you're doing such a good job.
You're doing a good job. Hashtag ask. You met Rob at the
Spooky.
pizza shop, right or not? No, I met my friend Rob in middle school when we were in seventh or eighth grade,
Oh,
just from being in different classes. Yeah.
wow, I didn't know you knew them that long.
Yeah, I've known Rob that long, and I've known my friend Dom that long. I don't really have many other friends that I've kept up with super much from further than that. Um, Hashtag ask. Hi, Tasoki. Tasoki's
Hi.
here.
Hi,
Rare
Soki.
Tasoki sighting. Hello. But yeah, no, Rob and I knew each other from school before work. Yes. Any other hashtag asks, hashtag Q&As, questions?
Anything? Anyone? Hello?
Anyone? Nobody?
Hello? Bum,
Nobody
bum,
has
bum, bum, bum,
anything?
bum.
Hashtag ask. Hi, Shania.
I
Shania's
hate
taking
them.
over. All right, I guess we can go ahead and wrap it up here then. Thanks everybody for listening to this episode. We appreciate it.